Last week, I built 3 LEGO Minifigure Habitats for the best LEGO minifigures from the collectible Series 24. Today we're going to start with the Series 25, with the Goatherd, and with the Film Noir Detective that was highly requested in the comments. We are going to move the orc on the side. This was the favorite from the last episode. And we are going to start with the Goatherd. So now I'm a proud owner of a white goat. Maybe I will get the gray one if I'm going to buy in the future the new medieval village coming soon. I'm 100% not gonna get the OG goat because, as you can see, the prices are still crazy. Now here I'm gonna build a sort of mountain kind of landscape where I'm gonna have a lot of rocks in dark gray and a lot of lime details. Actually, initially I didn't have this little lake over here, but I was planning to have some bigger rocks like this. But I thought that it was taking a little bit too much out of the scene, taking too much space. So I decided to ditch that and have a little bit of lake to give a little bit of different color, and then to build my landscape like this. I decided to have something brighter than regular green, like this one, to make the scene a little bit brighter, also in contrast with the dark habitat that I will make for the detective. So here we have this very, very cool minifigure with a very interesting expression. And over here, we're going to start to build the mountain. So what I'm going to use is this rock piece. I'm not going to put it up straight in this normal use, but I'm going to build it sideways, okay? So I'm going to have a very interesting texture coming out on the side of this wall. We are going to add some studs over here, and then we are going to connect everything on top like so. So here we have the usual stud coming off for every habitat. Over on the other side, I'm going to have a little bit of extra landscape, and then again a little bit of rocks, extra details to give a little bit of texture. So you can see already the habitat is almost done. Another little inside of this build, initially I was planning to have a blue sky on top, but again was making the scene too dark. So I decided to don't use this and instead going with this lighter color. And over here, we're going to add the goat because, as you know, the goats, they like to go on these very steep surfaces. So I thought this was a very good idea. I also thought about adding maybe a mushroom somewhere over here, but I thought it didn't really match the vibe and the color was a little bit off. So I just decided to add a couple of patches of darker grass, something like this. So let me know what you think about this pretty simple habitat, I would say. But now let's move to the Film Noir Detective, which was definitely more interesting. Again, I recommend you to start to build habitat because with just one minifigure and a few parts, everybody can start to build their own mocks. Even if you're not a mock builder, you don't need many pieces, you don't need a big budget. Everybody can do this. And actually, as I say many times, building in small spaces will actually push you to be much more creative than what you would be in building a very big mock. So now we have this very cool minifigure. So again, the color scheme here has to be grays, dark gray, light gray, black, and a little bit of interred. So here I decided to build a sort of river with these trans, dark, clear tiles. And over here is where we're going to add our detective. On the back side, we are going to start to add a little bit of ground. So over here, we're going to have a sort of higher road, and this is the structure that we are going to have at the back of the detective. So some masonry brick. Over here, initially, I thought I can use maybe some sort of ladder to access this lower part of the river, but I thought actually it looks cleaner in this way. Over here, I'm going to build a bridge that is going to be on top over here with this chain on the side. This is to cover this gun that I have hidden over there with some extra traces of blood over there in the corner. So the detective has this red fish, this red herring in his hand, and he's checking that out without realizing that actually the murder weapon is just in the corner down there. Over here, I decided to add another little water detail coming out of this arch over here to add a little bit of extra detail. So here we are using a little bit of extra space outside of the regular habitat. On top over here, initially I thought maybe I can build a big door, but then the habitat would be way too big. So at the end, I will have to brick build it. So what I decided to do is this. I have this build over here. So I have a bracket with this slope over here to create the entryway. Over here, I have some snot technique with some ingots and a roller skate on top, and a brick build door in black over there. And then I'm just gonna close it off on the other side. On the top part, this fairly recent round jumper 1x2 to create a sort of little awning to this door. I think the effect looks pretty nice, even though, of course, this is not in scale with the rest of the build. I even thought at the beginning to add some sort of skeleton under the bridge, but it was way too big and I didn't find a way to connect. So I thought this is actually a better solution and give me the chance to add a little bit of red. Over on this side, I'm gonna create a sky, but again, I didn't want to go with black because then the scene would be way too monochromatic. So I decided to go with dark blue that actually I think fit the scene quite well. And over there, I'm just gonna add a dark gray moon, which I think works very well. Now, the last two details to finish this off. Of course, in a scene like this, I need to add a lamppost that is pretty iconic. Again, this is very out of scale. We have a massive lamppost over here and a tiny door over there. But I think this actually give a nice height over here to the habitat. So I thought I would go with this one. But if you want, you can just remove this if you don't have this part. And you can brick build it with a couple of cylinders and maybe a rod piece or something, a bar, something a little bit shorter. It would work as well. And this is a trans clear minifigure head. Very last details, I wanted to add a little bit of extra hint of red. So I built this. Initially I thought maybe it could be some fire extinguisher, but I think it looks more like a sort of garbage can, something like this. So I think this works very, very well. We have hints of red. We have all the color scheme that fits very well the detective and the dark blue sky. Now, let me know which of these two is your favorite for this week. Let me know which one you would like to see in the next episode, again, from this Series 25. And of course, if you like Minifigure Habitat, I have an extensive selection. Today, I will recommend you to check out some of my Disney one, in particular, this very cool one that I made for Princess Jasmine. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. I will see you next time. Ciao, ciao.